vibe, yeah. Niggas wanna hate all the time, yeah. You wanna shine in my prime, yeah. Wanna celebrate with my slimes, yeah. Please don't kill my vibe, yeah. Adding petrol to my.
Today is a big story. And guys, we're back with it with another episode, and we're on episode 3.
Yay!
Dude, we're already on episode 3, so this is nice. This is nice.
Getting real.
Guys, today I have a special guest that you guys already know in studio. In studio,
You know.
So today I have with me my partner in crime, Unondalo. Say what's up to the peeps.
What's up?
Yo. My name is Panasha Makoni, and welcome to the Perspective of a Growing Man podcast, where we dissect topics that affect us as millennials, as some are Gen Zs, some are
Gen Z.
whatever we are. At this point, whatever it is, see more. So we're just dissecting topics, and we literally just give our insights on topics. So if you guys are watching this, don't get offended. It's just literally our opinions. So for today I wanted us to talk about social media. I wanted us to cover toxic relationships, and obviously the conversation is going to lead from one thing to another. So I want us to start with social media, right? That's a big story for sure. So social media, right? So there's a lot of positives on social media, there's a lot of negatives on social media. What's your take on the positive side of social media before we even get to the hectic stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there aren't that many positives, to be honest, about social media, but
There's always a but.
The good are good.
Yeah, the good is good. The good is good,
good.
and the bad is bad. I mean, for me,
Sheesh.
when it comes to social media, right? There's some positives. Obviously, positive with anything for me, personally, guys, is making money. Yeah, boy, if you are making money, I mean, that's a whole positive. So in social media nowadays, I mean, you can brand yourself. You can literally make money from sitting around, not necessarily, not great.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, being at home because of COVID, a lot of people have to work at home now. So
literally, you just set up your studio and you start recording. So that's one of the ways I think social media is advancing the way in which we're living.
Yeah, true.
Another way in which social media is literally advancing the way in which we're living. I mean, we're connecting.
Yeah.
Bro. I mean, guys, I DM a lot of girls all the time, bro. I'm like, buffet too, single, buffet too. Like,
Shooting them shots.
Yeah, but I'm just shooting my shots in everybody's DM. So if I shot my shot on your DM, just no, it's not personal. Just accept it. Just accept it, DM. So I just wanted to find out your positive take on, like branding yourself nowadays. And I mean,
the biggest thing with social media, the biggest good thing about social media is that it informs us. Like informs and educates. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of the things we don't know are happening. For example, if someone goes missing, or if there's like a strike, you will hear it on Twitter first.
That's it. Twitter is out there.
It's out there.
No, that's facts though. That's definitely facts. You learn from social media. I mean, nowadays, if you're a university student or you're a high school student, you can attest to what guys, we are studying using YouTube. Yeah, about YouTube, guys, I'm literally paying for YouTube more than
at this point,
I'm not like
forget the school.
Anything. Like school, whatever. YouTube is actually like teaching us a lot. So I mean, social media platforms nowadays, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there is Facebook. Hey, Facebook, guys. Hey, Facebook.
Is that even a social media at this point?
Facebook
Why is it still here?
Facebook is weird. Facebook is really weird. I mean, Facebook is weird. I told you the other time that I got an invite from my dad and my mom.
Yes, I have an invite. Oh my goodness, this.
Dude, you get an invite and you're like, bruh.
No.
So social media in that term it's not necessarily negative. I mean, but the problem is your parents and your people.
Yeah.
But that's the one aspect or two aspects of social media: getting to brand yourself, getting to market yourself, making money, whatnot. But what are your thoughts on the negative?
There's so much. The funny thing is, regardless, because in this list, the negatives will definitely be more than positive, regardless. But still, we will never leave social media.
I don't know why.
Like, there's cyberbullying. There's oh my goodness, there's so much bad things about social media. But we will never leave. I
don't know why, because I mean, the last time I checked on my social media platforms, I was checking on my phone. I think it was like a couple of days ago. I used 38 gigs on social media alone, over 9 gigs
Oh
on
my God.
on YouTube alone. So I mean, social media is
Yeah.
I don't know, but you keep going to it.
You
I mean,
keep-
is
it's
it
like
boredom?
drug.
It's a drug, you know. But is it being bored? What's the whole thing behind the social
You know,
platforms?
I don't know.
You
Because
just come
I don't even watch TV anymore. Like, if you ask me what's on
Yo.
DS, I wouldn't be able to tell you. If you ask me what's on YouTube, bruh, I'll be
I'm on the
there.
money. I'm on
Like,
the money. Like me
that's
too.
crazy.
Like we just watch everything nowadays. Obviously, is on our phones. I watch.
Yeah.
I also watch my phone. Well, I view my phone more than I do TV nowadays. I mean, there's nothing on TV. Guys.
Yeah, you see.
We have to
see?
admit. I'm not bashing anyone, but I mean, like, dude, it's a woos. You're like, dog. Rest.
I feel like only parents are watching TV now.
They are,
Like,
they are, and I think obviously it's because of the difference in the age gap. Like,
Yeah.
you know, our parents are like, dude, I mean, I'm just gonna stick to the old way around.
Yeah.
You never see your mom and dad watching Netflix now.
No.
Nah.
No way.
They'll be accustomed to
You're right.
whatever it is they're watching.
Yeah.
But another aspect of social media, I think, and I wanted to address this in simpler forms. This whole concept of depression. What is your take on depression in terms of social media?
Social media.
Mm.
I mean, we've spoken about this before, like the comparison. That's
Comparison.
the biggest one. Because regardless of how many times someone tells you, listen, don't compare yourself to this person. Come on, bro. We're all humans. At the end of the day, you eventually will, even if it's not consciously, you'll be
Yeah.
like, shit, okay.
You have that and I don't
you
have
know,
that.
but it doesn't necessarily have to be like material things, like, oh shit, this person's already here.
in terms of life, and then
And
I'm
I'm still
behind.
down here. It's like, dang, okay.
Yo. And
okay.
because I said this as well, like social media is, I mean, whatever destroys us nowadays in social media is comparisons, right?
Yeah,
It's literally
definitely.
saying, "Would see the other person has what I don't have," and I kind of referenced it to my people. I always reference it back to your old people, obviously,
Yeah.
because they are the first points of reference. Why is it the older generation is always happy than our generation? I mean, what's the thing there?
I mean, they like they all grew up
In
at
different
the
times.
same level.
What do you mean the
In a
same
sense
level?
of,
What do you mean?
You know, obviously, like your parents, like your mom and your dad, obviously
Right.
didn't grow up together. Some people,
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
in a sense of, I know that my dad, let's say he grew up at the farms.
Yeah,
My
yeah,
mom
yeah.
maybe grew up in the city, but what they did was similar.
Was kind of similar.
Yeah, like they
Facts,
knew. See,
facts.
when I came home from school, I go play outside until the
Go
light
play.
comes on, and then I cook, and then
Damn, it's
us, it's like
simple
shit.
way.
After school, I need to check social media, and then get home. Oh, let me check if this person is doing their homework.
Ooh,
It's
so
just
I can also do
nonsense.
my homework.
You see?
It's comparisons
It's,
again.
you know?
And I mean, nowadays, obviously, it's like, okay, dude, you have an iPhone 13 and I have an Android phone, and you're like, dude, the
Yeah.
whole comparison thingy is. But that's the whole idea behind social media. And for me personally, I think we overemphasize the point. So, I mean, depression is real.
I mean,
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah,
Depression is real.
definitely.
We're not like bashing anyone who says they're depressed, because depression doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
come from the social media aspect.
true.
But don't compare yourself. Just don't compare yourself, bro.
At least try not to.
Try not
Because I
to.
feel like saying don't, sometimes it's like, it's almost like if like you had to go to your parents and be like, shit, so my friend's got a car, he's got a house, he's got a good paying job, like what the fuck am I doing here? And they're like, don't compare yourself.
Yourself.
Things will happen at their own time. I mean, that's not necessarily comforting though.
Nah, it's not.
Oh,
It's
don't worry.
not.
It's like when someone's crying, what's it told?
I know it doesn't cure the pain
doesn't cure
immediately.
it.
And it's like, there's this quote that I read the other day, and it was actually said by my friend. That quote where it says, we all get on the bus at the same point. I mean,
Oh,
if you look
yeah.
at, let's say you
Yeah,
look at
true.
varsity instances nowadays now, when you're on campus, all of you guys get on the same race. Let's say
Yeah.
you're from the same race, right? You
Yeah.
get on the same bus, but when you are getting off, sometimes you get off at different stops.
True.
Okay, I mean, maybe races is a really bad example.
Okay, yeah, maybe like high
Taxi
school.
ranks.
At high school, like you take a
Yes.
taxi
Oh,
home.
malum. Yeah.
People drop off at different places. That's just
Yeah,
life.
That's just life. So if you need to understand the point, so Woody, you don't need to compare yourself to the next person. But again,
Yeah.
it's not too consoling to say, dude, just don't,
You
don't
see,
compare yourself
but
to another
also
person.
the negativities in terms of social media,
Mm.
I feel like now we're seeing it way more. Like it's more out there. So for a while I used to be like, wait, is everyone depressed? Because that's the only thing I saw on social media. And I asked my sister, and she was like, no, I'm not depressed. And I was like, then like, is it our generation?
I feel as if it's to a point whereby we are romanticizing the points of depression. We are romanticizing the points of toxic relationships.
Yeah.
Now moving from social media into the
Yeah.
points and aspects of
Ooh.
toxic relationships, right? So social media has glorified a toxic relationship. I mean, we all have toxic relationships. I mean, guys, I'm Jody, but but in some way I've had a toxic relationship
Yeah.
whereby izinto are not as good, but you always at a point whereby you're always coming back, like you said,
Yeah.
like social media. So I think it's just our generation like over popularizing
Yeah,
the
true.
points of toxic.
Yo, guys, AJ.
Yeah, wrong, that's English,
But then toxic doesn't necessarily have to be like, you know, in the romantic relationship. It can be like family, friends, neighbors. It legit can be anyone. And the thing is, chances are when you're in a toxic relationship,
Alright.
you're so used to it. You're like, you know, I'll stay. You know, like.
But for me, not to interrupt you, sorry
Yeah.
when you're talking, but I wanted to find out from you, like, what are the signs of a toxic relationship before we even put out there what is toxic? But how do you see a relationship as toxic now?
Crying. You should never cry in a relationship. I promise you. You see, if that nigga make you cry, onion.
But guys, I
know. Even vice versa though, because girls be making guys cry too. Like if that person actually makes you feel less than you are, bro, dip.
That's toxic.
Just dip.
Because I mean, even when you come to relationships, one aspect is crying, right?
Yeah.
Some people, I mean, like, you're always crying, you don't feel comfortable within the relationship. But another form of like toxic vibes or whatnot like that, it's for me, it's just like not being content, you know, not being.
True.
I mean, sometimes you can be happy, but at the same time, if someone is not really putting you first, like that, then, you know, and then it also comes back to, guys,
I will we enjoy
yeah, guys, it's single vibes. Yeah, but just be single, you know.
No,
so,
but I feel like what you're saying makes sense. When you're in a relationship, you should be, or at least when you're with your partner, you should be calm, almost as if you at peace. Like you don't feel like, oh, I need to act this way, I need to sit like this, I need to talk like this, I need to play this type of music, I need to eat this type of food. You legit should feel like you are yourself with them and still be comfortable.
Yo, and how do you even find that nowadays? Because like we can even move it to like for me, okay, let's say I'm in a position whereby right now you're looking for something very serious. I mean, what do you prefer, having something very serious initially or making the mistakes that ultimately lead you to something serious? Because I've spoken to my guys about it. I mean, all over we're like, okay, dude, you not being a part of relationships is limiting you towards the learning curve. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what do you prefer, like making mistakes in relationships, having your heart broken, or just like waiting it out and finding the right person to kiss?
I've always been the type of person who if I dated you, I'm legit dating. Like we're not playing, right? Since a very young age. I don't like this playing around. This I'm gonna sleep with this guy today. That is just, it's too much. Why the drama?
That's facts.
But also like you had said, when you have dated people, you learn, you grow, you know what you want, as well as not only like mentally, emotionally, but maybe sexually. You also grow.
Facts.
You learn things.
Facts.
By the time you get to your lifelong partner, you are prepared. But also you can learn all these things with your life partner.
Yes, that's the fine line that I wanted to discuss with you. Is it wrong for a person to say, bro, I'm just gonna wait it out until I find the right person? Because I mean, ultimately, not to say but the thing is, I'm not saying I'm not necessarily in a relationship, but I'm not disclosing this is hypothetical. Right?
If you're not confirming, we're denying
guys,
anything.
this is just hypothetical. So like for me now, it's always in the space of which are you wasting some things that you could have done with your lifelong partner, or are you just in that space, because it could be toxic. That what you're on leader to in the whole toxic vibes. I mean, you're forcing things. I mean, a lot of people force things just because on social media it's like relationship vibes.
It's like, oh, I've been dating 6 years.
You know what I
but
mean?
But here your boyfriend is abusing you, but now you're trying to hit that 6 years. It's not worth it.
You are hiding behind the 6 years brackets and whatnot. So I just wanted to find out. And it's correct that as in you can make mistakes on either side. You can either be with your lifelong partner, or you can do it with people that are going. And then I wanted to find out from you as well. There's something that I was watching on social media, right? And it's something that's very popular. I mean, I'm always on social media.
Yes.
In Sweden, Jamaica.
We love it.
So I wanted to know from you, do you prefer a 9-to-5 gig, or do you prefer a gig whereby you are working within your own space? Because now we're shining on people that are working 9-to-5s.
True.
Where are you?
I feel like at first, when I was still studying, I was like, you know what? I don't mind 9-to-5s because when I started working this year, let me tell y'all, listen, that environment is not made for me. I hit a whole different level of anxiety and depression. It was hard. I feel like they don't explain this enough to us about how hard it is to work a 9-to-5, and you don't even earn enough money to be like, okay, as in it's worth
it's worth the amount of
it's not
the pieces of me that I'm losing every single time I step into the workplace. But for me, I feel as if you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, you do.
You have to start somewhere. You have to pay your dues somewhere, and then ultimately, obviously, get you to the point where you want to get. But why is it now we are overemphasizing the point of making money very quickly? I mean, nowadays, dude, young thing they see poster is about money. Myself included. I'm not gonna even. So we want to make as much money as possible. So 9-to-5s. I mean, as much as they are breaking you down mentally and whatnot, are you willing to lose parts of yourself in exchange for you learning, in exchange for you earning money, and also in exchange for you being independent?
I feel like if you've never done it before, if you've never worked a 9-to-5, you have to do it. Like, I feel like that's probably the best lesson life will ever teach you. It's something you have to go through. You learn and then you move on, and then maybe that will motivate you to start your own business, hustle. But also, let's be honest here, money is what makes the world go round. You cannot survive. You can't be like, okay, I don't want money because I'm this type of person and I don't need that. How are you gonna eat? Where are you gonna live?
Even guys, how am I gonna rock bam? Guys, those are Crocs. Crocs cost me like $1 million rand.
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? I buy my Crocs from France, So, but anyway, that's another topic. So that's what I wanted to know. As if, like, we are shunning 9-to-5s. As in, we want to make fast money. I mean, I was looking at YouTube the other day because I'm always on the platform learning new things, whatnot.
True.
And people, there was a point where like forex trading was a thing.
Yeah.
Like Bitcoin now is a thing.
Now it's Bitcoin.
So I mean, where are you on that stance? Are you condoning people wanting fast money, or are you saying to the people, go and work your ass first, then? Because opening a business is not easy either.
It's not easy. But also, you see, the tricky thing here is I could tell you go get a 9-to-5 so that you can save up to start your business. The truth is you will never ever make enough money to start your business. Facts. You can be earning 6,000 rand, let's say, a month. And now you have expenses. You have food, you have housing, you have transport, rent. And then at what you see, making yourself happy, because I mean you can't be saving for, like, you may not live till tomorrow. You are saving. So that money to start a business will never come. It will never be handed to you. But if it is, use it. You need to forget the 9-to-5, try and hustle.
Because that's what I've seen as well. I mean, where I work right now, it's a space whereby, I mean, they are doing super well. They are doing reasonable well, obviously due to the COVID pandemic and whatnot. But in other instances, you always think to yourself, dude, I can always start something of my own. but it's not as easy as we want to put it out there.
It's never easy.
So, and then it goes back to the thing of social media now, whereby you are trying to market yourself, you're trying to brand yourself and whatnot.
You're paying for ads.
And then it goes again to toxic relationships, where you have a toxic relationship with a social media platform where you're not growing fast enough. So I mean, what can
also
we do?
the toxic relationship, not necessarily like dating, but like you know when you what I learned about being on YouTube is that it really, not in a bad way, you know. I don't want to bash anyone, you know, so like don't take this personally.
Guys, don't take anything personal.
But like when you start a business or when you start a YouTube, I feel like that's when you see who your real ride or dies are. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, in a sense that where I'm like, okay, we're gonna drop a video, I expect this person to be sitting there waiting for this video to drop and watch it straight away. I'm not saying that. But you eventually see which people are like, oh my goodness, guys, I saw this video and I saw this part of the video, it was like really funny. Randomly too. Like for example, my girlfriend would randomly be like, you know, in this part of the podcast, and I was just like, wait, hold up, you watched? And she's like, obviously, I subscribed, and I was like, dang,
that's crazy.
You really know who your ride or dies are when you're starting something new.
It's basically
toxic relationships.
Again, because YouTube is a business now.
It's a business.
I mean, it's a literal business. I don't take it as a business initially. I mean, I kind of take it as a business.
It technically is.
But at the same time, I don't want to have a toxic relationship whereby if it doesn't work out, you are all in your emotions and whatnot. So,
or if there's one hiccup, it's like,
boo-hoo, I just want to sleep and whatnot. And not bashing anyone that has left the platform, because sometimes it does get overmatched and you're just like,
not made for everyone.
It's not an easy platform to be on. So
it's like everyone becoming a doctor. Like, come on.
Aye, guys, no. Nah, you're not becoming a doctor, dude. And now we get somebody, guys. Wait, yeah, when I see blood, I'm like, yeah, guys, I'm gonna collapse now. I'm literally gonna collapse now. Because, guys, that is my crypto. I don't know what it's called. Yeah. My friends, I'm gonna do for the dictionary.
All that J, I'm telling
you. For the dictionary. But yeah, so I mean, nowadays we're not really emphasizing our mental health. I mean, sometimes I've learned at times when you don't necessarily need to have a relationship with social media, because I've learned this from some of my friends. And shout out to Usabs. Usabs has told me this. He was like, dude, for the longest I was off like Instagram because I didn't want to compare myself. I didn't want to look at other people's hustle. So just to literally wrap this up, I don't want to make it a big ass episode. I just want to kind of emphasize nowadays, but try not to compare yourself to the next man. If you're eating from your plate, eat from your plate.
Don't be looking at someone else's plate.
Don't look at someone else's plate. I mean, that doesn't work out for you.
Yeah.
Right. And if you have other insights, obviously you can share reviews from what you've learned from the discussion that we actually just had.
You see, also, so before, like I'll say, like in 2019, I also started like working on my Instagram, like actually posting, being active. And then last year it was almost as if it's like a switch went off, where it was like, okay, stop everything. So I actually recently I deleted my Instagram, my WhatsApp. I deleted every social media until the day you had come to me and you're like, oh, by the way, don't forget to text me. And the reason I was taking so long to text you is because I didn't have WhatsApp. And I was just like, okay, but now we need to communicate. So I still need that, as well as I told you, Instagram as well. I needed to,
you're not on the platform.
Because sometimes you just need to sit back and not wake up and think, oh, let me check Instagram, let me check Twitter. Sometimes you just need to lay in bed and think.
Like literally, that's what I do sometimes. I wake up, the first thing you do is check your phone, and you check what's happening.
Why? You check lives, who texted you.
Who texted?
When you go in, you're looking at statuses, you're looking at Instagram. It's draining.
Lapo guys, whoever's watching this, please guys text me in the morning. No good morning, at least.
So
no, I kind of understand. Like it actually took me back. Like that's why I left the platform for a bit. I was like, I need time to myself to actually like consolidate what I was feeling, to actually understand and take everything in. And when it comes to toxic relationships, right? I mean, guys, not even necessarily like whatever doesn't bring you the happiness that you need. I mean, school can be toxic.
School is toxic.
School is toxic.
School's
School
toxic.
is toxic.
The books are toxic.
Yo.
The teachers are toxic. The lessons at
School is toxic.
Let's throw it away. I'm joking.
nje ukuthi angizwa xwana ke la. Angibambi lutho la.
And that's when you get compared the most. This person's getting an A. Why are you getting a C?
Yo, because I mean, even in high school, we have that whole top 10. I mean, in high school, we have that whole top 10 thingy.
True.
It really diminishes, right? Fuck, yes, it really diminishes your self-confidence and your self-esteem. And you're like, dude, what the flip? The next person is better than myself. So, I mean, school is toxic. I mean, all teachers are toxic. I mean, friends
Parents
are toxic. So, yeah, in saying that, like, the lessons that I've actually kind of learned here is, firstly, avoid comparisons. Secondly, take time to yourself. Take time to build yourself and take time to be yourself. But yeah, that's literally what I've learned. And this was such a fire episode with you. Like, I enjoyed it. But if you have any other insights you can share, obviously with the viewers.
I think I'm good. I feel like, okay, one question you guys need to answer.
Always,
because, like,
always,
let's be
always,
honest, that last
always.
question was bursting from the last episode.
Bang.
I think this week's episode would be, question would be, who's toxic in your life? Is it like a relationship, friends, family, school? Because family.
Now, family is also toxic. Family is
Hey.
toxic with expectations, with obviously we've covered the whole black
Yeah,
text thing,
true.
but
Like, Jay,
with expectations. But yeah, to answer that question, guys, just write it in the
Now,
comments
what's your
section.
answer?
For me,
Yeah.
who's toxic the most?
Oh,
Guys, I think
you don't have to mention a name. Just
not even a name, but for me, I think I'm the most toxic person
really
to myself because I'm my
Okay.
biggest critic.
Oh yeah.
Everything
true.
that I do, I think I could have done it better, even if I've done it the way that it's supposed to be done. So I think I'm my biggest critic, and in saying that, I am really toxic with myself. That's why it took me a while to get back to the level of me producing content because I was so toxic, So
toxic.
for me,
okay, no, I see what you mean.
yeah. But I mean, for the viewers, it could be different.
It could be
for you.
different.
What is the toxic measure?
I'm gonna say family.
Family. Yeah.
I don't have that many friends. I don't like to have a big circle of friends. But if I had to pick, I'd say family.
Family.
Family really be fucking you up.
Damn, family with expectations, guys.
Expectations. Come on.
But in saying that, thank you guys for watching the podcast. Episode 3 was such a vibe. Episode 3 was a big story. And yeah, man, we'll see you guys next week. If you enjoyed it, please do.
Same place.
Same time, same place. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel. Like the video. It takes a second. Let's take this video to 50 likes.
Yeah, true. And go check out our Instagram. Official Instagram
Instagram is here.
It will be in the description. Go check it out. That's
Instagram.
where we be posting like the sneak peek.
Snippets.
Guys, this guy needs.
But anyway, guys, enjoy this vibe.